Grow.
I'm trying.
If only it were that simple.
Yeah.
So, French Mistake, brilliant episode.
Thank you.
How much of your input did you have in the personal details that went into this?
I think the personal details that I wanted were just like, hey, make fun of me, make fun of whoever, make fun of whatever BS actor stuff you hear about, like put a sun tanning bed in my house, and they didn't. I don't have one in my house, but it was like, yeah, an actor would probably have a tanning bed in their house. When I was like, perfect. Pictures of ourselves and pictures of riding a horse like behind the computer. So it was really fun. It's nothing that I actually have in our house, nor do we have a gigantic house.
You don't have an alpaca then?
We don't have an alpaca. We're looking at alpaca. What's funny is we went to Machu Picchu for our honeymoon. So we like Machu Picchu. We were like petting alpacas, and we have like alpaca little fur rugs and stuff. So, or not rugs, because that would imply. Anyways, we got to meet alpacas, but we don't actually own one. Those are our wedding pictures, though, and our dogs. And that's my headshot and her headshot in the Andy Warhol thing. Little inside story. So they took the headshot that you send out, like, hey, I would like to be a role in your show. Here's this, here's that. So they took just the regular headshot and turned it into an Andy Warhol painting.
What can you tell us about, what can we expect from Sam for the rest of the season?
Well, obviously Sam, though he has a soul back, he hasn't necessarily dealt with or atoned for what he did while he was soulless and while he was in hell. So, I mean, I know we kind of touched on it in Unforgiven, but we just saw a little bit. I mean, he was soulless for a year, and so that was just a little blink. That was one job in the whole year. And so I know that, as Supernatural loves to do, they got to mess things up and then have us go atone for it. And so I have a lot of torture coming up, a lot of self-torture. And Sam might have to re-encounter who he was as a soul.
I can just join this conversation? Okay, I'm just going to join this.
And he can answer the rest of mine. So
no, I'm joining. You.
Are you?
I'm just joining.
Sweet.
All right, I guess after you.
Have you been? Sure. How does it go?
Dr. Then just a couple more questions and 2 questions here, and
then she's taking you.
You're taking you.
Okay, keep going, and I'll just say if he's flying or not.
Do you guys plan your outfits to match?
No.
Yes.
Damn.
No, we do a lot of like stuff obviously together because we're the two leads of the show. And I'm like, hey dude, what are you wearing? And he's like, I don't know, what are you wearing? I'm like, I think I'm gonna go with suit because we wore a suit last time. And he's like, all right, let's suit up.
I think it would be.
That was the extent of the conversation.
I think it'd be more mean if I like came in a formal tux and he like, yeah, I'm just in a t-shirt and jeans.
Jeans and a
he shows up in
no
like
problem.
an American Eagle shirt. So we just want to make sure to be properly like respected. Respectful.
Sorry. Is there anything about the evolution of Supernatural that's really surprised you over the 6 years as far as directions your characters have gone? Directions.
That was surprising.
Whoa. Talking about Kripke now?
Yes.
Go ahead, man.
Yes, I think. I think no one would have thought 6 years ago if you said that this is the show that we'd be doing today.
That we'd be standing here talking about the show still. Yeah.
I mean, I remember. Yeah, that we'd be here this long, and two. I remember we did an episode called Angels or House of the Holy or Touched. It had like 15 different names. So it was either Angels, House of the Holy, or Touched. But it was the first episode that Supernatural ever had to do with angels. And it was, did an angel save me? Remember Sean was in it? Mm-hmm. And we called, and Kim Manners was directing it. Mm-hmm. And we were like, hey, like we kind of set out to sell ghost stories. We're not turning into like a religious show for the writers to give their religious beliefs through Sam and Dean's voice, are we? Like, no, we're just dancing around this idea. Like, what if they are real? Like, hey, we don't just talk about death is watching, like, here, meet death. We don't talk about, like, hey, watch out, you can't avoid fate, meet fate. And so they're like, we're just talking about this idea, and now we have an angel in our show. But I remember when we very first read that episode, we were both like, what, are we turning like
into
like
a religious show now? Is this like Touched by an Angel? But
which we didn't think it would be, and so I think that's probably the biggest one for me.
Yeah, but I mean, they just, they kept this big kind of fictitious story, and they was like, listen, this is our story, and this is where we're going, and this is the road we're heading down, and let's just go with it. People are responding to it. And,
yeah.
I mean, I know Kripke had a big 5-year plan, and I'd like to think that he has that big of a mastermind, but I don't know. I think he's full of shit most of the time.
I think he'd probably tell you he's full of shit.
Yeah.
I think what's wonderful is that even though our show has changed so much, I mean, to pat ourselves on the back and thank y'all guys once again, is that y'all have stuck with these two brothers, because it's essentially been about Sam and Dean's journey through the supernatural and zombies and Wendigos and ghosts and hookmen, to now angels, to now hell. I mean, we've been to hell, I've been to hell, and we've been to heaven, and we've been all over the place, and y'all.
Yeah, we've died dozens of times.
Yeah, at least.
I'm taking Jen, I'm taking Jared.
All right. Lock him down. Hi, how have you
All right,
been?
now we can really get.
Yeah, now we can
Hi.
really let's get to the heart.
Dish
of it.
him.
I have a question about the food. It seems like you've been eating less on the show as Dean. Is that true? I've noticed that.
Yeah,
Are you happy about that?
Because
I don't know. You know what? It was my own fault because I remember when it happened, and in fact, it was a scene where they put some. They put some of those little cocktail sausages out,
Yeah.
and I was like, this is something Dean would do, and I just started picking up and eating them, and then next thing I know, like every other script, Dean's like munching on some sort of junk food. And I was like, what have I done to myself? I think I may have made a comment like, you guys are killing me with the food last year, and I think that kind of joke kind of ran its course. So I don't know. I'm sure he still eats as much junk food as he can.
kind of drawing.
Has there been a particular episode over the years that's resonated with you personally?
As well as
I don't know necessarily a particular episode. I mean, there's always I like the standalone episodes, you know, and I definitely like the comedic episodes, like the changing channels was a lot of fun for us to do because we got to play all these different characters and from a Chinese or a Japanese game show to poking fun at CSI to all kinds of stuff. But I would say the storylines are what more stand out or what stand out more to me.
And maybe if we don't get to season 7, maybe he won't get out.
I would say like the end of season 2 when Sam was killed, and just how horrible that was. That's something that really stands out. I would say,
hey, wall can't break. All right, let's break the wall.
You know what? I would say, and if there was one episode, it would be the end when Dean was sent to the future and ran into 5-year future Dean if the apocalypse happened. Not only was that a story, I really enjoyed that story, but it was also a very difficult story to tell for me as an actor because playing two characters, acting opposite nothing essentially, and then turning around and trying to remember what I did on this side of the kid. So it was just a very difficult, but it was a very challenging episode. I thought Jared's rendition of Satan in the very end of this episode was just bang on.
I thought it was just nice to also.
And it's one of those episodes that I think we all kind of hung
I didn't
around
want to kill her
on.
again.
Like, this is one of the highlight episodes.
Like have fun and
Supernatural has very passionate fans. The lines were lined up around the block.
she was able to make fun of the business and
What are the things that you find most surprising about Supernatural fans season 6 and 7?
They're becoming very vocal.
That's really exciting. That's a personal favorite.
Which is great, because it's kind of it's turning the heads and bending the ears of people who have maybe not even paid attention to us. I mean, we just came from a TV Guide photo shoot where we got voted best show.
Kind of talked about
and Misha got an award. I got an award. I know they're not.
I don't know.
Emmys, but
maybe if we shot too long, if I get too tired, it comes out.
They're the voice of the fans, and I think that says a lot. I'm very proud to be associated with a show that fans are that passionate about. Because I watch television and I'll tune into certain shows every now and again and I'll watch them and stuff, and I wouldn't consider myself a fan of that show, but I think it's a good show kind of thing. So the fact that we're doing something that people are that passionate about is really humbling.
The episode that you directed, was that written to be not much of you on camera, or is that where it came up in the rotation where they went?
They've never really said that to me, but I venture to say that they eased up on me a little bit to kind of give me an opportunity to be on set as just a director. And out of the 8 days that we filmed, 5 of those days I was just a director on set, which was great because the times that I did have to act in the scene and direct at the same time was a bit difficult. I mean, I was a complete different mindset. I didn't realize how different a mindset it was until I was in it. I know now, so if given the opportunity again, I'll adjust accordingly. But I think they did. I think they may have given me a little reprieve on that one, just so I could focus.
So no plans to direct another episode right now?
Well, we haven't got the official word for season 7 yet, but I think once we do, then we'll probably sit down and talk about it. And they've mentioned that they were very happy and that they would be open to giving me another one. So I'll keep my fingers crossed.
Is
I
that
have to take them, you guys. I'm sorry.
Thanks
All right.
very much.
Hey, thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.